For a limited time, pick up your Beginning of the End poster and memories collections today at radrendering.com. Now onto the video. Call of the Dead will be DLC 4. Oh, is that not a bold statement whatsoever? Maybe if you told me before BO4, but the remake train is going to continue, and not just because of the leaks out there that potentially indicate Call of the Dead being DLC 4, but we have in-game evidence. So today's video, I'm going to take you through in-game evidence, some extrapolation from that evidence, and then speculation about the cool twists and turns they could implement if they'd go remake City in Black Ops 4, ending the Ether storyline at Call of the Dead, which people have some displeasure with, me included, but I did see a great counter-argument I will break up saying, you know, returning to places of significance are good in this sense of storytelling. It's good that we're going to a place we've already been, because then that'll have more meaning than just going to a random place to end the final map and the storyline. Revelations was sort of a mix of that last time around, where it was a bit of old maps, so we felt that connection, and then a bit of new maps. But it felt weird being in space. That's where that disconnection came from. So like, really? This is the end of zombies? We're doing it here? So I do give credit to that criticism of my disdain for constant remakes instead of new assets. And we'll get right in the video. I hate this, but I think I have to start doing this unless to be successful on this platform. So just leave a rating, all right? I don't care if you hate it or you do. Just leave it a like. If you like these videos, just do it. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. That's it. I don't want to beg, but I'm gonna. I don't like it. I don't like asking, but I also don't want to do the crap where I see all sorts of annoying icons popping out throughout the video telling you to go rate and like and comment and do all this shit. I'm just going to ask you once per videos now, all right? I'm going to apologize for it. Sorry. That's it. That's the only thing you'll hear once per video now. Anyway, let's get into the meat of this video. Let's talk about the in-game facts. The best place to find these in-game facts is classified. It basically laid out all the answers for us and foreshadowed. Scribbles on the walls and chalkboards inside are incredibly strong indicators of what will happen inside Black Ops 4's story and the conclusion, and why DLC 4 will probably take place in Call of the Dead. First, let's work a little backwards, because the ending of Alpha Omega revealed a bunch. There was a Maxis radio in the ending cutscene. Really fill in some more blanks with these classified chalkboards. First being, salvation comes only once Argatha burns. And apologies, I say Argatha, it's Argartha, but I can never say it right or quickly, and it just comes out crap, so it's never going to be fixed. I heard it Argatha in BO1, and that was it. So, the chalkboard was directly relating to the ending of Alpha Omega, where Sam returns and says she's going to burn Monty, the Ether, the Infinite, and everything. We learned in this Maxis radio how important that is, because that's basically the setup to the conclusion of zombies. I even made a video on my channel covering all that, and now I want to leapfrog off that to why Call of the Dead's the perfect place to do this. So first, listen to this very important Maxis radio.
By this point, I must assume you are receiving these messages. I hope you are, especially after what I have just learned. I believe I have uncovered why Dr. Monty will not destroy Element 115. The Ether is inextricably linked with Agartha. They are one and the same. Agartha, the physical space, is constructed and exists of the Ether. From this we can surmise there is no way to destroy the Ether unless Agartha itself were to be destroyed. Now, the ramifications for destroying Agartha are not yet clear. After all, it's interwoven into the fabric of all realities, meaning its destruction would impact all of existence. It could very well reset all of time and space. Imagine restarting the universe, but without the influence of the Ether. Yes, this is the reason. This is why Dr. Monty will not truly fix the paradox. Destroying Agartha, it would mean the end of him.
All right, you're caught up. Just in case you didn't see the previous radio, fantastic. So that gives us our foundation for we need to destroy the Ether, Element 115. Why Monty doesn't want to destroy Element 115. You destroy the Ether in Element 115. He loses his powers. He loses his existence. That's why he doesn't want it destroyed. We got our stakes, we got our bad guy, we got our solution, all right? And that's what we're fighting for. Classified told us literally that, on day one of launch when this came out. But let's move past just the scribbles. Let's look at some of the pictures, because they're pretty important. We see 3 pictures and a phrase. The first picture being the Vril device, the second being a stone rock shape, and the final being the way through. There's a very important Purnell radio I would like you to hear a snippet of to get better context.
I hear them seeping through the dry cracks of dead dirt. They want me to find the way through.
Now can we get to the good stuff?
The gateway. I found a schematic in Dr. Richtofen's journal. He'd made a plan, a backup plan, to build a device, a fast lane. We tried to build it, but we didn't have the necessary components. They just don't exist.
Purnell talks about a shortcut to the ether on Gotha that Richtofen figured out back in BO1. I commented about this too previously, but I love the fact that Richtofen went on his grand scheme, did all this to get inside the MPD and try to go to the ether, almost went there. In one of his character quotes, he says,
"You know of what I speak. You have touched the ether within the pyramid device. You have seen the infinite."
I wouldn't say seen so much as poked my head around the door or fiddled around with the interesting bits.
He didn't go full crazy and to get the corruption like Purnell did. But his use of the Vril device and the focusing stone are cause for America and Purnell to be like, they don't exist. We can't find them. Richtofen using the grand scheme. They're literally mythical artifacts. Not even our government can find them. It gives a little more weight to our journey. We were able to find mystical legends and bring them to life. That's cool. It makes our characters feel like they're important. So coming back to the recontextualization of that quote and this chalkboard, the way through looks like stairs. And arguably some people might say, well, if you just think of it as like swirls around a lighthouse, that could also be a lighthouse. I'm not really on that team, but you still have a fair argument here. But it looks like stairs. And so this could be the way through. There is a shortcut to the ether using the Vril device and the focusing stone. Well, you know what's pretty strange is the elemental shard resembles a lot of the focusing stone in Shangri-La. And where would we need to go to get the Vril device, to get a shortcut to go to the ether, to destroy it, which is our setup right now as of Alpha Omega? We need to go to the ether, go to the house, kill Monty, destroy element 115. The best way to do that with the Vril device. Locate it inside Call the Dead. That is the strongest bit of evidence we have in-game that indicates DLC 4, the conclusion of zombies, is going to be at Call the Dead. That doesn't mean it's going to be the same Call the Dead as we know it. It still might be Siberia, but maybe the ship hasn't crashed. We have time on our side that they can really remap and reshape how we experience the map. I'd like to point out that the drawing inside, classified, has the APD with notes on it saying, must recover from Griffin Station, indicating that they do have some sort of device that would substitute just fine for the focusing stone, which I believe might be the elemental shard. There's another theory on the Reddit right now, though, that the actual uses of the elemental pieces that we saw, we got one in Blood of the Dead and one in Alpha Omega, are actually related to what we experienced at the end of Revelations. This wonderful post by Space Dog, hey, MC Sports Talk, but not actually MC Sports Talk, says we're probably going to be getting the light and darkness as indicated by the Apothicon language that we did during that Easter egg. I think that's a really clever idea and absolutely a valid possibility that that is the significance of getting the elemental shard. So that may put a little wrench in my idea of using the elemental shard as a substitute to the focusing stone as a shortcut to the ether to fight Dr. Monty and destroy element 115. I want to share all perspectives here. So let's keep walking through all the information. On the walls, we have this picture of the source under the MPD on Moon, a broken glass with some sort of liquid in it or some sort of material in it, and then just a silhouette on the outside, which might be indicating Shadow Man and maybe indicating just somebody in control of the MPD. That is so ambiguous, I can't really speculate on that. But with the source, this is a good indication of what is controlling the zombies, what is the source of the madness. Anybody who interacts with the MPD or the APD end up going crazy. The use of element 115 causes them to go crazy, to hear voices, to follow the voices in their heads, which potentially are Shadow Man and Dr. Monty. Any voices our characters hear in game are potentially the evil things inside the MPD or the corrupted individuals who tried to touch the ether and then were corrupted by it. remember Max's radio, anybody who is corrupted by it is forever corrupted. And he explains that there was one.
Once it touches something, that thing is forever corrupted. It cannot be undone. Do you not see, Edward? Dr. Monty never planned on fixing anything. He could only start over.
That was first corrupted, and its corruption spread indefinitely, and that's how we got into this mess in the first place. That leads into the speculation part of this video, that potentially we go to Call of the Dead. I don't think there's going to be a Great War. I think that might be a backdrop. I think the closest we're going to get to the Great War is what we saw in the intro to Alpha Omega. We aren't fighting inside Alpha Omega, the Great War, nor will we probably in Call of the Dead. Instead, we're going to be on our own mission to make sure we don't fight with Monty in the Great War. As the cycle goes, we're always on his side. We're always fighting with Dr. Monty, thus restarting the cycle. And potentially, we always die inside the Great War, according to this quote from Nikolai and Dempsey.
Go back to what you were saying earlier. How long have I been trapped in what cycle?
You have lived it over and over. Sent back to Great War countless times. Always doomed to fall.
So how's that different to you? Ain't you been around the same hellish merry-go-round?
No, because I still have my soul. This is my first time.
People have speculated that Ciphers in Revelations and Inside Classified could be indicating Call of the Dead as that map, as we hear in these following ciphers. The first cipher. I am the last of us, but I will be joining you soon, my friends. Cough, cough, death is near. I hope what we have done doesn't come back to bite this universe in the ass. Thank God we will all be gone, because if Monty ever found this place, we would have been in a world of shit. Maybe now, with all of us gone, the children will truly be safe. D, which we have speculated to be Dempsey. And then we are certain this is Tank Dempsey in a classified cipher that reads, cough, field report, heavy cough. I don't know why I'm doing this. Is anyone receiving me? Cough. If you are, then all hope is lost. I'm the last one. The others, they're gone. We failed. Cough. I don't know if there are multiple outcomes or if this has always been the only one. No matter what we do, what we fix, we still end up here. This time travel shit, multiverse shit fries your brain. Cough. I hope Richtofen established contact with the others. Woke them up. It is the only way now. It's up to them. Cough. Damn, it's cold. Very cold. Not much time left now. This could harken back to the original giant opening when they need to awaken the test subjects.
The future hangs by a thread. You must awaken the test subjects.
That is such an ambiguous statement that it has been speculated potentially to be Victus. It was speculated to be Ultimis at some point, and it could be a variety of wacky things out of nowhere, just like we experienced in Blood of the Dead with post-Revelations Richtofen coming out of a cryopod anywhere. So the sky's the limit with who we could be waking up the test subject as. It would be a lot more meaningful if it was Ultimis, and it wouldn't be as impactful if somehow Primis Ultimis failed, but Victus saves the universe. That would be the Rian Johnson subversion of the century. But these ciphers are discussing the end, where the cycle always ends up repeating. Even if things get changed, they end up getting put back together because they can't succeed in their objective. Dempsey is bleeding out, and this would seem to be Primis Dempsey, because he's calling in his field reports like he does in every single map. And he uses, damn, it's cold, very cold. Obviously, he's losing blood, he's dying, that's probably why he's very cold. But some people would speculate that Treyarch likes to have fun with this stuff, and they certainly do. Just like it's all Greek to me, they choose their words pretty carefully. And this was pre-launch, so they were really probably trying to hint towards stuff, or at the very least, harkening back to his DE quote.
Field report. En route to somewhere new. Somewhere cold. Real cold.
One last reasonable suggestion to why Call of the Dead might be DLC 4 is the need for the VR-11. The VR-11 demonstrated powers to turn or cleanse zombies of 115. In the map where we were supposed to be destroying 115, it would make sense to bring back the VR-11, which is located in Call of the Dead. In summary, 1. The location of the Vril device is at Call of the Dead. 2. The Dempsey ciphers could be indicating the location. And 3. The VR-11 could be used to achieve the plot setup from Alpha Omega. And a quick note, the Vril device spawns out of a teleporter asset in Call of the Dead on BO1. When I was recording footage for this video, I caught that. Thought it was neat. I wanted to share it with you. Now for speculation. I believe Call of the Dead would benefit from taking Ancient Evil's model of 2 locations. one at Call of the Dead's base and the other at the Ether. Using the Vril device and the Elemental Shard, we can create the shortcut discussed in the Alpha Omega Radio to the house that is located inside the Ether and where we battled Dr. Monty. This would allow for the best of both worlds, a Call of the Dead remake, and new assets inside a remastered map. We should expect the loading screen tease of Primis and Ultimis Richtofen to come true at some point in DLC 4, which should be an indication of many sacrifices to occur by the end of the game. It should be emotional. According to a recent blog post from Activision, an interview with the zombie team again states that the Ether is ending inside DLC 4, and it's going to be emotional. It seems we might play around in the multiverse with new characters after DLC 4, but DLC 4 is the ending of the Ether. It is possible that we will have Samantha helping us in some form in DLC 4 while we fight Dr. Monty with the use of the VR11 and the Vril device. Once we destroy Dr. Monty in 115, we will probably get a reboot for a clean new story in the next Call of Duty game developed by Treyarch. Again, this shouldn't come as a surprise to hardcore fans who kept a close eye on the game. For everybody else, this should catch you up on why everyone keeps saying DLC 4 is going to be Call of the Dead besides the hit or miss leaked info. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for taking time out of your day to watch my video. Support me on the Patreon and all the little things if you want to see more of this type of content. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters who make these possible, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.